Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with. Yes. Hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? I hope you guys are feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay. It's all right, my friend, because you know why? Bad times don't last forever. Because after every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light at the end of the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Just stay humble. Manifestation is real. Put in the work, and just also remember that bad times are needed because those are the times that humble us as well as help us get to the good times that we want to get to. Okay. So, once again, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this, but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? As we are still celebrating as well as honoring men's mental health in the month of June, I'm so excited for all the guest appearances so far. Shout out to all the men that has been coming through and just been giving us nothing but the good vibes, as well as expressing themselves when it comes to how to deal with mental health on a personal and professional level. Hopefully, all the fellas out there are taking in consideration of their mental health, as well as the women as well being there for the men that they love and their soul that's in their life and things like that. Excuse me. So, without further ado, before we get into it again, shout out to all the men out there once again. I hope you guys are taking in consideration of your mental health and understanding that mental health is important. You're not alone. There's a lot of men out here that's probably going through the same thing that you're going through. And I hope somebody, whichever guest from here, probably or maybe all of them, put an impact onto your life and just help you understand that, look, I'm a man and I go through things and they do too. And they were able to express it on camera because it's hard to just, be vocal or audio and do it, you know? So without further ado, before we get into introducing our guests, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing our voice or watching us on YouTube. And without further ado, I give my guest the floor.
Hey, yo, what's up with y'all, man? My name is Tarip Williams, aka So I See Rico, known on social media and other digital platforms. Yeah, man, I'm a God-fearing man. You know, it's Men's Mental Health Month, and I am a victim of depression, and I feel like all men's mental health should be acknowledged and taken care of because there's a lot of men going through the same things. And as men, we're just kind of taught to like wear our shoulders on our sleeves sometimes because we have so much things to cater to. And I feel like as men, we kind of like get the emotional side of us like brushed off because we're supposed to be masculine and we're often looked at as the people to take care of everything, especially with a household or we sometimes other men they might have kids to take care of, a wife, any and everything for real. And I feel like a lot of people just don't stop and ask a lot of us like, hey, is everything up there okay? So like it's very important to like get help if you need it because like it could lead to like a lot of other stuff that don't need to lead to, such as like suicide and like domestic violence and stuff like that. And this a lot of that stuff can be avoided if we just took the time out our day to just get the appropriate amount of help. And even just talking to anybody, like, I feel like we should use the people in our lives, especially people that's been in our lives for a very long time, because we've been put on earth to love each other. We never against each other, and I feel like the right thing to do is to help those around you and don't have that crab in the barrel mindset. Like pick each other up, So
I like how you developed that, and I also like how you spoke out and said you are a victim of it, because it takes a lot out of a man, a black man at that, to admit that they've been a victim of mental health and then been through so many aspects, especially depression. Depression is one thing that most of the time you see is like, okay, you can get rid of it, but no, like you said too, men go through a lot, having to walk around like, I can't express myself. I gotta just take it chin up, chest out, get this over with and stuff like that. But It's not easy, and
It's not easy.
I really really appreciate you for even saying that, because that can really help someone out there. Because it takes a lot out of a person, a man at that, a black man at that, say, yes, I'm a victim, and here's why I'm a victim, and X, Y, Z, as well as how you put it, you need to express ourselves. Whether it is, talking to a therapist, talking to the women in your life, your dad, grandfather, whoever, your homeboys too, like whoever are, I say, the reasons in your life, the ones that you know for a fact that it's no judgment.
There's no judgment.
It's no judgment. Because you can tell who's there for you, who's not. That's why I compare like the reasons and the seasons. The reasons are the people that have been there for you forever. You don't have to worry about, oh, they're going to judge me. And then your seasons is like, oh, they're going to judge you, read you for feels to be like, look, you need to get it together. You're a man, grow up and all that. And like I say all the time in the previous episodes I had to, as a woman who advocates for the black men, especially mental health, I'm here to support you, because it is so hard. It's so hard to even have that feel from a female, especially too, because some dudes be like, I don't know if she really like me, or she really understands me for who I am.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot, especially for our generation as well, like the younger generation coming up, the young adults, we next in line. So that's why too, I tell people to don't be afraid to say you are feeling some type of way, because you never know how much that can help you in the long run, and you never know how much that can inspire someone to be like, dang, I look up to this person and they help me. Because going back to what Tariq said too, he is a brand, he modeling everything, and you never know if it's a guy, the younger guy, whatever, in the same predicament as you, especially too when you're a brand and you gotta keep that face on, like,
keep that face.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like a lot of us as people put on masks, and you just be walking out, like, you never know what anybody's going to do, because 9 times out of 10, they putting on a smile to hide the pain that they truly going through at home, or whatever they going through at night. Like, you never know what anybody's going through when they go home, so it's very important to, like, treat people how you would want to be treated. I never in my life had the urge to be nasty or ill towards anybody, because God blessed me with a household that was able to teach me to be kind and to be patient and learning with people, because the people in my life was patient and kind with me. And being able to experience that at a young age is very beautiful, and I feel like a lot of people, especially this newer generation coming up, needs a lot of that, because it's a lot of different propagandas that's turning down this new generation. So it's important to love and care for people, because that's what we was put on earth to do. So.
I like that. And he's not lying, y'all. Me and Tariq went to elementary school together, and he was a sweetheart and still is. So, like I say all the time, you never know who will come on here, and you never know how the vibe gonna go. And I just love how this series goes. So yeah, like he said, it's true though. Like, also impacting the environment that you lived in. Going back to the previous guest appearances I did with the guys, they expressed too, like, some people, grew up in the household of being able to speak their feelings, being able to just tell a mother or father, look, this is how I feel, and they're there to help them. Some was like, not so much. It was like I had to hold it because I'm a man, or got to take it in or whatever. Regardless, I feel like also too, for me, growing up in a household with 2 parents, and I have a little brother, my father, and my uncle live with me now, I be like, look, y'all okay? Even though at times they get on my nerves, but you gotta see, are you okay? Because it's a lot for a black man, especially with the mental health. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's so
not
so
even
lot.
Just, I know it's men's mental health month, but like not even just men, but like men and females.
Yeah.
Like, every mental health is not something to play with, and I feel like we're going through a very bad spiritual warfare right now, and it's very important to keep and protect your energy. Like, please, like, don't be out here just laying with just anybody, letting people that you don't even know like that know your information or business, like, in any type of way or form. Like, it's very important to keep uh, important and blessings to yourself, because
Yes,
people
yes,
will
yes, yes.
smile in your face and then turn around and prey on your downfall. And I've been going through a lot of envious and ill things with people. Like, somebody just tried to sign me up for the military.
What?
Yeah, somebody tried to sign me
What?
up for the military. Somebody sent me a fraudulent model opportunity email. Not recently, not too long ago. It was a Burberry gig, and somebody really tried to like get me to like bank drop some money in my account and have me send them money.
What?
Yeah. So it's very important, man. Please be careful out
Oh
here,
my
man. There's a lot of like
gosh.
evil people out here that do not want to see you win that.
It
Like,
is. It is. And then also too, going back to, at times, I don't like to mention it, but sometimes even in your own household, your friends, your community, we're from Baltimore. You never know what you're gonna expect. But I feel like all over, you just have to really pay attention to, you gotta pick up on the red signs. Trust me, at times it's hard to even pick up on the signs. But I feel like if you're a good reader, like you can read a room, the vibe, stuff like that, you know off the back, like, look, this person's not for me. Mentally, they're not. And then, like, going back to what he said, people will really prey on your downfall, and that can mess up your mental 10 times worse, especially when you are a brand, when you're wanting to become a brand, or you just want to do something that's just you've been manifesting, praying for, putting that work in, and certain stuff to, like I say all the time, you gotta leave a mystery. You have to give people a mystery of yourself, because when you give someone your all, it's like, okay, I know this about him or
yeah.
her, so I'm gonna get you where it hurt, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. And we all been through it. Trust me, we all been through it, and it comes to a thing where it has your guard up.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, it has your guard up, and I understand too a little bit more of why men have their guard up towards certain women, because sometimes we human, and us women sometimes come off a little harsh, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it could have been a different way to approach it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, he's a man, masculinity, all that, but he has feelings as
Mm-hmm.
well as we do. And that's why I say all the time, ladies, just please protect and love on the men that's in your corner at all costs, because it's vice versa. And you never know what they're going
Never know what they're
through.
going through or what they've been through. So,
Yes, yes. And as a person like me, I like to be like, are you mentally okay?
yeah.
Like, is everything going on? Because, like I said to him before we recorded, like, I do the reflections now for everybody to guess. And even I'm starting to do them now for when I have, like, myself, and I do
Mm-hmm.
the Vibing Out series or the Wellness series, because do a little reflection, and that sometimes, just get an impact on how things been. Like, we're in the mid-year. We're in the 6th month of the year. Sometimes people mental is not there.
Mm-hmm.
They have midday blues or winter blues, however they say it. Summertime, even people just be like, it's not for me. We all go through the motions. We all have that seasonal depression, excuse me. Especially too, you never know. Like, you just never know what someone's going through. Like, just please, please, please love on the men around you and the women, like he said too. Even though we're focusing on men, but vice versa, just please, please, please love on them and be genuine. Because you never know how much that could pick someone up. Like, that's a pick
Mm-hmm.
me up. Like, you never know how much you just say, hey, I'm checking on you. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you do check up on people and they might not respond right away. That's okay. Long as you know,
Yeah.
yeah, long as you did it because you felt it in your spirit, like, look, I don't know, I thought of you, I just want to check on you, and give them grace and stuff, and you can tell, whatever.
Don't do it for a reaction. Do it for the kindness
Yeah,
of your heart.
yeah, because that also shows that you're pure and
And
you
genuine.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
you're genuine. You really have love and care and respect for that person, because it's hard. It's hard as ever for a man to even identify who's really there for him, who can really run to him, especially in these situations and how the world is. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the pandemic opened up a broader horizon for everyone, especially men, to just speak out and be able to say, look, I'm a victim. I've been through this, I've been through that. I need this, I need that. I need someone to help me understand, look, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. It's okay for me to say, look, I'm going through this shit. Like, today's not it. Some days, like, I cry in the car. Some days I just, I'm here for it. I respect it. And I really, really respect Tarip for even saying that, because it takes a lot out of a man to say, I'm a victim. and even understand and know what has caused whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how the conversation developing because the questions merge into it as well. As the previous episodes I had, guys, every guest, male guest, will have 8 questions to answer. They may or may not have the same answers, but regardless, just hearing their answers is just what puts the icing on the cake for me. And I hope it puts the icing on the cake for y'all too, because just having multiple men from different backgrounds, like so far, I had 2 content creators. One was YouTube fullest Instagram, one is business with his clothing line, and then one with and with YouTube, and then one with music and production, and now we have a model and stuff. So, we all around the same age group, but we all go through different cycles in our life that we may or may not, have the same thing, but it's a learning process. And that's the best thing about waking up every day. You learn something new, even about yourself or others. So, let's get into it. You ready for these questions?
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
Okay, so the first question is like 2 questions at once, so I'm going to break it down to you.
Okay.
So how do you personally define mental health?
Mental health is, how can I explain it? There's something in my cup. Basically, how I define mental health is, how can I use it without putting mental in the sentence? Just your conscience, like your just what's up here. That's the best way I could put it. I feel like physically, we can tell when someone is healthy, but we can never tell when someone is what anybody is thinking. If you get what I mean, like you can look at somebody and you can just like kind of guess like, oh, he's fine, but like you really can't see what's going on with somebody internally. So I look at mental health as a spiritual thing. I feel like a lot of people just be labeling things as a disease and stuff like that. But like me personally, I be thinking like certain things ties to like certain spirits and stuff like that. Considering the fact that we all have a different spirit, that's the reason why we all act differently and we all react differently to the same things. So humanity is very interesting to me because everyone has their own perspective or a different way of thinking or output on things. So mental health is just watching. It basically, to me, is like what you consume to your brain and what's going on with your brain and how you view life and stuff like that. Mental health can like play into like a lot of different things, such as like what you eat, what you watch on television. It's a lot of different meanings. Like it's something that you can almost not explain because, like I said, everybody have their own perspective on it, and everybody's going to do different things every single day.
Yes.
So, I feel like mental health is your own perspective of life because everybody grows up different. Like you said earlier, everybody grows up differently. Everybody has a different story. So, I feel like mental health is just like your own visual painting of life. Because we all got cards that were dealt with for real. So I feel like that's what it is. That's what mental health
That was
is to me.
deep. That was a little deep. That's that answer when the definition one, y'all, just defining mental health, especially hearing it from a man's perspective and all the men so far, is like, wow. Because you can, like he said, sometimes you can't see it. Like, physically, you be like, okay, cool. But everybody at times had that poker face, that staying strong, like, okay, I'm going I have a job or something to do. I gotta stay focused. I
Yep.
gotta lock in. But behind closed doors, I'm letting it all out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So, and yeah, also going through the spiritual as well. Like, it can mean so many different days, so many different things. Excuse me. And I just love how you broke that down. Cause
Thank
like,
you.
whoa, that's I never heard that. So that's dope. And the other part of the question was, what does taking care of it look like for you right now? With all that you said, with what mental health means for you and what it is. So how do
For
you
me,
take care of yourself with it?
I feel like how to take care of it is you talking to the people in your life that love you the most, getting help from them, staying to yourself. It's very important to piggyback off of what I said earlier. It's very important to not share your blessings with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely keeping certain information exclusive to yourself and to the people that's in your household specifically. And I say that because I'm really making an analogy. I watched Sinners, and a lot of things had stuck out to me in that movie. And I'm a firm believer of not letting everyone into your house.
Yes. That's your safe space.
Yeah.
I don't play that.
Yeah.
I don't
So
play that.
it's just like it's a different. It's different amounts of like spirits like roaming the earth, and you just never know who you truly talking to. You could be talking to the devil himself down the street, and you never know. It's a lot of envious and jealous people out on the road, and it's very important to protect your energy because there's a lot of people out here that don't want to see you win. And a lot of people, if you one of God's chosen ones, people can see the light in you.
Yes.
People can see the light in you. Even demons, they see the light in you, and they want to leech onto you and suck that energy off you until you ain't got none left. So it's very important to stay to yourself and not let everyone know your business, especially social media. I felt as though, like with me being a model and stuff like that, it was important to keep certain information confidential to me, because people see me elevating, and there's a lot of people in Baltimore and people in general who just don't want to see you win. And I feel like me and you come from a city where people see one person around them like elevating and getting to where they want to be, and they just be so stuck in this like dark solitude and asking themselves like, wow, why can't I be where he want, like where he at? You feel what I'm saying? Like, then they start getting envious and jealous, and they start questioning themselves, and then they really start thinking that you better than them in some type of way. So they feel like they gotta do something, like such as kill you, rob you. It could be anything. So it's just very important to just stay to yourself, love on people who love you, and put God first. Just talk to God, man. This is very important.
Like, I really like how you capitalize too on. You gotta really be careful of your safe space. A home, like where you lay your head at, that's one thing too, because that's somewhere you feel comfortable at. Like your room, your bedroom, whatever you prefer to call it, or the basement, whatever, or people have like lofts or whatever in their house. You want to protect your peace at all costs. And that's somewhere where you lay your head at. You don't want negative vibes coming in there. Because you never know too. And then like going back to, you can't trust everybody.
Yeah.
You cannot trust everybody. You got to know, like you can tell a genuine soul. Sometimes it takes you a minute to know a genuine soul. But you can know the real from the fake. You can know, like I say all the time, a reasonable seasonal person. A reasonable person and a seasonal person. Especially too, going back to what you mentioned, we from Baltimore. At times, the favorite word we say, it get crummy out here.
Yeah, it do.
It get real crummy. And sometimes it have people feeling the way they do because the words people say when people, protect their feelings. Oh, they bougie, or they doing too much, or they just self-centered. No, mental health is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And when you are building a brand for yourself or hustling, whatever the case may be, you do not want nobody or anything to be envy of you, throwing dirt on your name, or just surrounding you with bad vibes. Because that's something mentally that can impact you so much, especially believing everything someone says. You believe in, like, oh, they say I ain't this, I ain't that. I understand. At one point in time, that affected me growing up. But now it's like, you see, it's like people are jealous of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it mess you up mentally because it's like, dang, why do they hate me the way I do? And that's why I love, just being different. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be a popular, lonely, and all that. Because sometimes you don't need that crowd around you. You just need the people that's reasonable in your life. Yeah. Like, you need them people that, for a fact, look, if I'm going through this, I'm going through that, he or she got me, and I ain't got to worry about feeling any type of way because they good peoples. Mm-hmm. I trust them with this. I get the clothes off my back and etc. And it takes a lot out of a person to develop that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, especially in our generation. It takes a lot. Well, just in general, I'm not gonna say, just our generation. And life itself, it takes a lot out of a person to say, look, you know what? I really like you, and you're really a part of somebody that I would consider to be my reasons.
Yep.
Because it takes a lot of a person to really get comfortable and say, oh, yeah, dang, I feel comfortable with you. And it's no judgment. And then also, too, you're being vulnerable to me and helping me understand and, putting the pieces together to help me. And it's vice versa. It has to be vice versa. Because that's where it impacts with it being reasonable. Because if it's seasonal, it's like, oh, I'm only coming to you when I got a problem. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear about your problem. It's my turn. You fine. Like, you got this going on. No. Like, people see, like, you can think of a richest person in the world. They going through stuff, too.
Yeah, facts.
It's hard to, everybody go through things. Sometimes the outside material things have people like, oh, they good. No. Life be lifing. We all have the right to have mental health problems, but as well as men, matriarchy and, men don't cry and real men don't cry. Real men this, real...
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No. And that impacts with the second question. Have you ever felt pressure to stay strong at work or in your personal life, even when you were mentally or emotionally struggling?
I'm going to say yes, because I've been going through a lot right now. Mm-hmm. And not even just right now, but like for the past, I want to say, for the past 5 years, actually, the 2020 period, I've been going through a lot of silent battles, like with my grandmother dying in 2020, and then my aunt passing away in 2023. I've been doing a lot of like coding and having to like, just wipe away a lot of like silent tears, because the harsh reality about all of this is that life goes on.
Yeah.
And it could be challenging going back to work and then having like death on your mind, or like having car problems. I've been having car problems for like the past 3 months. Like, I was expecting my car back last weekend, and then every time that I get a date from a mechanic, it gets pushed back to the next day, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
To the point where I was just so fed up. I'm like, yo, I don't even want y'all to like text me or to like get my hopes up over this car unless it's done. Mm-hmm. So, it's a lot of things that we all go through on a daily basis that we probably don't even complain about, but like, mental health is something that you cannot see. It's like internal. So like, I be putting on a mask sometimes. Like, it be days where I just want to like just break down and cry, but like, the dog in me, it just be like telling me it's more things on my plate that I need to take care of. Like you can't never just be sitting for too long
Mm-hmm.
in solitude, pouting and crying about one thing when there's other things to get done. Like that's just a sad reality of like the life we live. Um, yeah, like life be lifing.
Yes.
Life be lifing, and
It does.
you just gotta pull through, and you gotta trust in God, and have hope that things will get better, cause they will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like we all get put in seasons and trials and tribulations where God wants to test how strong we are, and we just gotta like stay down.
Yes.
You know, it's very important to stay down. You know, nothing hard lasts forever.
Like I said.
Nothing hard lasts forever.
Mm-mm.
Things will get better. The rain will go away, and the sun will shine again. But you just gotta have that faith and trust in God.
Yeah, and like you said too, like going back for that pandemic, it really woke a lot of people up, especially our generation. We had to, life happened in a flash.
It does.
It happened in a
Like
flash.
that.
Like we had to, it's senior year of high school, preparing to, graduate, and then lockdown, and then it's like, what? And you cooped up in the house with your peoples, and sometimes like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and then death plays a real big thing. Grieving is one of the things that I tell people it's just never a timing on when to stop grieving.
Yeah.
Like, maybe cycles in life where, okay, I don't cry so heavy, but a thought or pictures, a song, something that click and reflects on that person will hit you. Like going back to the pandemic, 2020, I lost my grandfather in the process of like before the pandemic hit. So that January, yeah, like the peak of it coming up 2022, I lost my aunt who stepped up for a role when my grandmother passed when I was little.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. The same for you too, because it's so hard for people to just express it.
Yeah.
And especially too when you got things going on, it's like.
Especially when you like bring it back up, because all those feelings just come right back. Like you never really get over any death.
No.
You just learn how to cope with it as life goes on. Like the feeling never goes away.
Especially if you were close with that person. For me, sometimes when I got older a little bit, it sort of kind of gets numbing, and it just had me like, just don't feel right. Because as a person that's so emotional, I admit it, I am emotional. I had my moments like, dang, and I'd be like, it don't feel right when it don't hit you right away, but it's going to hit regardless.
Yeah.
It's going to hit regardless, and that's, like I say all the time too, grief is something that don't have time where you can stop, nothing. It's natural. Like sometimes it takes people minutes, time, days, weeks, months, years to get it together, because it's like you don't know how much of the impact a person had and then how much it had on your life. And that's when it mentally affects you. Like really will have you like, why is this happening to me? And they be like, we all must go, but it's like, why right there? Like, why at that time? Like, I didn't want that to happen. And being able to take care of yourself in the process as well as identifying it is like, y'all, it has you like, oh my gosh, it has me right now like I'm so speechless for words to even continue, because it took me to a point where that it took me years to talk to a counselor about everything in life that gone through. Like, just rewinding back to 2020 up to now, life was really lifing, and it's like, how do you do this? Especially the men too I was talking to, like the guys I know and I'm really cool. I'm like, dang, how do you do this? Like, why do you do the things you do? But everybody has their own coping method, coping style. Mental health means so much to them in different ways. They take care of it in different ways. So I respect it. I just be like, bro, no, but first.
Yeah.
So, number three, third question is number three. Who do you talk to when life gets overwhelming? And has that always been easy for you?
When life get overwhelming, the first two people that I tend to go to is my mom and my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because ever since I was younger, they always like they studied me to the point where they kind of like knew when there was something wrong with me, so I kind of couldn't even lie
Mm-hmm.
when I wanted to, and when I wanted to say it ain't nothing wrong with me for real. Like I'm cool, but like how I am as a person, I can't really hide my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So they always just got me to like spit it out. So I just got so used to that to the point where I didn't want to hide my feelings from them anymore. And yeah, they've been the same two people I go to every time when I'm dealing with some real heavy mental battles. Because they just been there for me ever since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like ever since I was a child, I have experienced bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People made fun of my weight. People made fun of me because I wasn't necessarily into with what other boys was into for real. Like other boys my age, I don't know, they even listen to like a certain rapper or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and I was listening to something totally different that they had never listened to. It might have been too white for them, too perky or whatever it was, but like I always never fitted in with like the typical Baltimore crowd. Like
Mm-hmm.
not I wouldn't say the culture because I'm a very huge hip hop fan, so I kinda always uh, lean towards all types of music and all
Mm-hmm.
types of rap music and stuff like that. So I never was too far behind on like hip hop culture and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to like the clothes and the shoes and stuff like that other kids was wearing when we were younger, I was kind of left out of the mix because I was into different things and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really so focused on like putting it on when I was like 12, 11, 10 years old. I just wanted to play video games. I wanted to be a kid.
Yeah.
Like, some people,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to hot skates or wanted to go to Putty Hill and, party at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be in the house and I wanted to play SmackDown versus Raw. You know, we was just,
Yeah, that's valid though. That's a valid reason. Like I can agree because, like I said, y'all, we knew each other since we was little. So I
yeah,
seen, like, and I knew this, and you can see, especially in Baltimore, you can see who wants to be a part of the crowd and who want to be different. I tell people all the time, it's so good to be different. Like being different makes you who you are. You don't want to be the same because if you're the same, it's like we're in common.
yeah.
No, you want to stand out in so many different ways,
Mm-hmm.
elements and things like that. From like the dressing, the music, your
Your
personality,
personality, yeah.
especially too. And then going back to also too. So far, the guests y'all so far we had have said women in their life has been putting an impact, like their moms, their grandmas. Shout out to all the moms, grandmas, sisters, aunties out there because it takes a lot to be there for a man, especially your child, grandchild, nephew, godson, whatever. It takes a lot. So I shout out to y'all. I respect that. And like he said, being a different, especially in our generation and where we from, sometimes it's like, you a little weird. But everybody's weird in their own little way. And they don't really, you shouldn't really label a person, oh, weird, because they don't do the things that you do. They don't flow what you
Mm-hmm.
flow. And, everybody not on the same bandwagon.
Yeah.
Like, be different. That's what makes you who
That's
you
what makes you who you
are.
are. Like I feel like I don't know, man. Like life. it's a lot of perspectives on life, and you can label it in so many things, man. It's like from where we come from, it seemed like people wanted to move as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like a lot of like men our age was held back from their true potential because they were so busy pleasing uh, other men that didn't have
Mm-hmm.
genuine love for them. And I feel like a lot of men our age have died over trying to please other men that never really liked them.
Yeah.
And it was, all this stuff is for a name and for a fake,
Acceptance.
acceptance. Stuff, everything stimulates from home, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It starts from home.
A lot of, I've grown up with a lot of talented men, like talented football players, artists, rappers, like very talented people, especially like from our elementary school that have died
Mm-hmm.
from just like choosing the wrong route, especially with like pleasing people that serves no purpose in their life. And it's very sad because we go through this continuous cycle in this city to where it's almost like an illness or it's a sickness because it happens too often to the point where it's stereotypical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because going back to what he said too, when you look at Baltimore, like you look on the murder rate, we was up there like what, top 3. That was very scary, especially to it's I don't really like when people try to fit in with the crowd because it's a lot to even that's a lot to even put on yourself mentally
yeah,
to just okay, I gotta fit in with them so they can accept me. No, and they don't respect you.
yeah,
And like going back to your elementary school, like you're in elementary school, you should just, get your work done, but you're being you. And going back to where we from, sometimes it's like they gonna look at you and judge you and all that stuff regardless. And till this day too, I would tell people all the time, people know of me, but some of them don't know me because either school or how the vibe is or social media. That's another thing too. Social media plays a big, big role because you could be anything and say and do anything on social media. Some people hold that to a standard, and some people's like, I just do this for the fun of it. The trolling.
yeah,
That can mentally partake on someone, especially a man. All right, I gotta hold myself to this standard, so these people know. Look, he about that, but deep down, that's not his lingo, and it takes a lot out of a man to just be like. Sometimes I feel like men do reality checks. Be like, is this really me? Like, is this? Am I really gonna keep on dealing with this forever? You know. Yeah, if it makes sense. If it makes sense, because sometimes men have enough. Enough is enough. You had moments where enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm not ready to keep, nah.
yeah. Get to a point, man.
Yeah.
It gets to a point. Everybody reach that breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to get help before you reach that breaking point. That's why we kind of here and spreading awareness towards mental health because we don't want anybody crashing out. And I'm tired of seeing all types of messed up things on the news about how it's a man just going berserk on his family and his household and stuff over something that could have been fixed with a simple conversation.
Literally.
You know, yeah, man. I don't even necessarily believe in medicine, to be honest with you, because it numbs you down and they have you in like a zombie-like type of form. I don't like that. Like, I don't like seeing people just spaced out.
Yeah.
And clouded. I don't think that's how the world is supposed to be. I don't think the world is supposed to run off of antibiotics and antidepressants and stuff like that. I feel like the real medicine is love. For real.
Okay, preach on it.
Love heals all. I've never seen it not work. So I feel like, love is the antidote for everything.
Real love at that.
Real love. Real.
Real love. You gotta know. You gotta see the real from the fake, like the reasons and the seasonals. And with that being said, that impacts also with number 4. So, what barriers do you think keep men from seeking therapy or support? And it's a two-part one as well. And how have you worked to overcome them? Like seeking that support, the barriers and stuff, like going to therapy or maybe and having the support system. And how did it help you?
Um, I'm sorry. Repeat that question one more time.
Okay. I'm breaking down one, then break it down. So, what barriers do you think keep men from seeking therapy or support?
Opinions.
Mm.
I feel like a lot of men are scared of being looked at as a sissy or being looked at as feminine for even just like trying to get someone to acknowledge their feelings, because a lot of men think that um, them talking about their feelings is feminine, and it's not. You know, everybody has feelings, men and women. It's not a gender based thing. I feel like everyone deserves to be acknowledged, and nothing should get left untreated, especially mental health. It's very important to be heard. It's very important to be heard, because um, I also come from a place where I felt unheard before, and I felt scared to speak up about certain things because um, I was always a kid that was left out of just all types of activities because I wasn't looked at as cool to certain kids and other people. Like, I was labeled as a nerd, you know. So, when you go through stuff like that, um, it kind of teaches you not to take anything personal, because again, everybody has their own perspective on life, and you cannot let other people's perspectives bring you down in any type of way, because I feel like that be a lot of people's downfall, just being worried about too many people's negative outlooks on you or what somebody thinks of you. And who is they for you to be like worried about what anybody has to say about you? Like, they ain't God.
Exactly.
Like,
I like how that was worded, and I like how you added the second part too. Like, how have you worked to overcome that? Because it takes a lot. And then that taps into the next question. How have you been? How has protecting your mental health positively impacted your goals, relationships, or leadership? So you can talk about your goals, your relationship, or leadership, or all three.
just praying to God and asking Him for signs and answers, and asking Him to help me follow um, in whatever path or direction He wants me to go into. Just just keeping my faith strong, and limiting who I talk to and tell my business to is very important to just stay to yourself, especially when you're on a path to success. It's very important to not let everyone know your next move, because they will try to plan your downfall and definitely try to sabotage your blessings and whatever you got going on. So um, staying true to myself and praying to God every day. Not every day. I would be lying if I say I pray to God every day, but staying consistent as possible um, with talking to God, and just asking Him for answers. So that's how um, I was able to remain humble and successful with my career path. Um, because in reality, you can't do none of this without God. So,
Okay. I respect it. I respect the honesty as well. So, number 6, how has your understanding of masculinity evolved over time, and how has that shift your influence within your mental health?
yeah. Back with masculinity. Um, how can I answer this question? I feel like we all have our own way of displaying masculinity. Because as men we are different, and I feel like there's different ways of being feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but me personally, I was taught to take care of those who took care of me, and as I'm a man now, that kind of means like just making sure that there's food in the refrigerator, cleaning up around the house, taking out the trash. Um, that's what's masculine to me. Just wanting to take care of the woman of your life. Um, and just showing up and doing whatever you can do. Like, as a man, you just gotta handle your responsibilities. So I feel like taking care of your responsibilities and taking care of your family, that's masculine.
And I see, and you mentioned too, like that has shifted you within your mental health to making sure that you protect the ones that had protect you,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that they're good, the ones that was there for you when you were going through your ups and downs, whatever. You gotta make sure it's the same way.
Yeah.
I respect it, and it takes a lot out of a person. Ooh, excuse me. So we're almost done. What's one daily or weekly habit that has helped you stay grounded mentally, and why does it matter to you?
Is there another way you could word that question?
So what's one thing that you do that helps you mentally stay grounded?
Praying.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me some sense of understanding with life and comfortability. Since I have so much faith in God, just talking to Him when I'm in doubt, it definitely helps me with having a clear space of mind, and it gives you some type of clarity. For me personally, like just talking to the Most High, just it gives you a clear path on what you should do in life, and that helps you make wiser decisions. So.
Okay. And I see that does matter to you as well, because praying is one of the things that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you pray about the manifestation, put that work in, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to most definitely evolve.
Yep.
And it's very, very needed. So, Leslie, because I know you're very busy, it's raw and uncut, things happen, life be life. And
Yeah.
so, Leslie, if there's one message you could give other men out there about taking care of their mental health, what would it be?
If you need help and you know you need help, get it. Because there's people out there that care about you, are willing to listen to any problem that you're having in this life. Um, you're never alone. Like, even if you feel like you have no family or friends, God is always there walking with you wherever you are in life. God is right there. And all you gotta do is call on Him.
That's right.
So that's my advice to all the young men and older men out there that's going through silent battles in life, and is looking for some type of like some type of clarity or reassurance or anything. Just talk to God, and He will literally show you the way of whatever you're going through or whatever career path you're taking. Any hardship you're going through, God is right there, and He will lead you through the way. All you gotta do is call on Him and talk to Him, and He will be there. And
Y'all heard it here, folks. So, as always, like if props and flowers to the guests. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out your busy day to come here and do it. You know, it takes
I
a
had
lot.
to show up for my girl, man.
It takes
I've known her
a
since
lot.
I was, what? I was like 8, 9 years old. That's crazy.
It takes a lot out of a person, you know, to just even talk on a mic and in front of a camera to express themselves, especially within this awareness for men. So I appreciate you a lot for doing that, as well as dipping into your personal, emotional, spiritual side as well. That hopefully it will help someone out there, or a lot of men out there as well, in the city or not in the city as well. So like, I just thank you so much for doing that and just being, you know, true and comfortable in yourself. To the guys out there, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this as well, some type of shape or form. Like I always say, you never know who may be going through something. You know, don't judge a book by its cover until you get a chance to read it. And if you don't like it, you know, put the book back on the shelf or whatever. But it doesn't hurt to be nice to someone in any type of shape or form, because you never know, that may help them and be a picker up for them as well. And as always, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that come on here. I hope you guys enjoy. Be nice to each other. Be safe. But as always, someone's here for you, even if it's up close or from a distance, y'all. Like, you know. So I thank you once again.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
You're welcome.
This is my first podcast interview. So, yeah, this is a huge milestone for me. For real.
And that's super dope that I was able to do that for you. So I appreciate it again. I thank you. As always, y'all, just do what's best for you mentally. And you guys will hear from me soon. You may see Tarik's face again soon in the future.
Definitely will. Definitely will. Gotta come back up here again, for sure.
And until then, y'all, please protect yourself. Ladies, please love on the men. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.